the opportunity of being here today with you. I would like just to add something which is very important to me. I think that each of us has a geography map of the world for the world we want to meet in the places, in the people, in the tastes, in the cultures. And this personal map is just the measure by which to discover the world, and the trip is just an occasion. Here I would like to say that Carta Holiday is offering excursions and vacations in the 5 continents: Asia, Europe, South and North America, and Africa, of course. And I hope that soon we'll be able to cover the other 2 continents, Antarctica and Australia.
This is photo from Peru, one of our favorite destinations as well: Sri Lanka, India, Nepal, and I have some technical issues, I think. And
Yes,
Thailand.
yes.
So Africa. Africa is one of our favorite destinations, as I told you. And it is also at the heart of our agency's development, as Carta Holiday is the first tour operator of Bulgaria's market, carried out a direct charter from Bulgaria to the island of Zanzibar. And this happened right during the difficult times for our bus affected by COVID-19.
And apart from the typical destinations offered on the African market, like Egypt, Morocco, Kenya, Tunisia, I can say that we are pioneers in discovering and exploring and showing to the people the undiscovered and hidden diamonds of Africa. For example, like Gambia, Senegal, Togo, Benin, Madagascar, South Africa, and so on and so on. Just not so popular destinations.
So we could probably say that our program for South Africa, Botswana, and Zimbabwe is one of the best on the tourist market in Bulgaria. During our trip there, we combined both the incredible beauties of the nature and sink into the culture, which is one of the most important things for us. Of course, we visit Victoria Falls, we go to Chobe National Park, we have jeep safaris, we enjoy the local music, dances, and typical cuisine. We visit, of course, Pretoria, we have a stop in Lesedi, we visit Kruger National Park, Cape Town, and so on and so on. And for our program, we had 3 groups last year. This year we had 2 in January, 1 big group in March, and 1 is coming in December, and 2 more in January 2024.
I will tell you a few words about Senegal and Gambia. This is one of our new projects. We are doing it in collaboration with Albena Jones. Thank you, Albena, for this. I think that those of one of the countries in Africa which should be developed. I mean, the tourism there should be developed because there are many interesting places and things and nature, just their own beauty, which needs to be discovered for the rest of the world. Basically, during our journey, we visit Dakar, the capital of Senegal, of course, which is a place where the traditions of Africa intertwine with the modern, which is creating a unique blend of cultures and customs. We visit Sali, Senegal's Riviera. We visit the National Park Djoudj, where we be surrounded by more than 400 species of birds. We also go to St. Louis, which is called the Venice of Africa. Another stop in our trip is the Fatawa Reserve, where we can see the animals in their natural habitat, which is very interesting for us Europeans, for example. We visit Roots in Gambia, which is for me very exciting jump back in time to 100 years ago as we drive into the heartland of Alex Harley's roots. We also, of course, go to Banjul, the capital of Gambia. We do a cruise on the river. In Banjul, I forgot to say something which is very exciting for me, the Kachikali crocodile pool, where we can touch crocodiles. And for Europeans, as I said, this is something really amazing and needs to be developed more and more. To enjoy Gambia to the fullest, we do some home cooking with Ida, where we exchange way of life, cultures, and traditions.
Actually, I want to add, this is one of our main focuses, to see both nature treasures and culture. Right now, we are working about our newest program about Madagascar, and these two photos are actually our those two people are actually our expeditors.
Yeah, it was just
And
like an
it was just
exploration
like,
trip.
yeah, because this is something we do. We go there, we explore, and then we make the program.
Another interesting project which is about to come is Togo and Benin, again with Albena Jones. Thank you again for this. I think that those two countries again needs to be seen. We are extremely excited about our upcoming projects because I believe that our mission and our aim is to really highlight the undiscovered places and diamonds of Africa, because Africa has so many diamonds, in my opinion.
And now we are gonna say a few things about Bulgaria and why actually we are doing this, because we think that Bulgarian and the whole continent of Africa have something in common. They have a lot of treasures, but some of them are still not discovered. I can guess that nobody from here have heard about Bulgaria. Do you know about Bulgaria? Do you know where this country is? Okay. 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 Oh, perfect, perfect. I didn't expect it that most people actually don't know about Bulgaria, so I'm really happy about this. Um, well, Bulgaria is a home to many civilizations, and it has always been a crossroad for many cultures. We offer a lot of types of tourism. We have ski tourism. One of our most popular are Borovets, Bansko, Pamporovo. We offer seaside resorts, Suzopol, Neseber, Golden Sark, Sunny Beach, and Bennett, a lot others are one of the most popular ones. And of course, our mountains, Rio Pirin, Vituša Starplina, and others are giving us the opportunity to develop alternative types of tourism.
Here I would like to add that apart from the traditional types of tourism, in Bulgaria the balneological tourism is very well developed and popular. We have a few places like, for example, Bankia, Velingrad and Banja, which are very famous with its balneological tourism. And in the last few years, rural tourism, wine tourism, and other forms of alternative tourism are becoming more and more popular and developed.
So Bulgaria is included also in the UNESCO World Cultural and Natural Heritage List. We have 9 martial objects, 7 of which are cultural and 2 natural.
The list includes the choir of Bistri grandmothers, the Nestinarstvo ritual. You can see it there on the photo. Basically, it's like a dance, and the people are dancing on a hot coal. It's like they're dancing on fire. It's a very interesting tradition in Bulgaria. The other one is the making of chip-proof carpets.
And of course, this is the taste of Bulgaria, rose oil and Greek yogurt and wine, of course.
Our focus today will be on Bulgarian folklore dances and wine. Bulgarian folk dances are grouped into six, into 6 areas according to their different way of performance. Shop, Thracian, Rhodop, Pirin, Dobruja, and Northern region.
So, Bulgarian folklore, we can talk about it whole day, but we are focusing mainly about dances, music, and our traditional costumes. And one thing that we are very proud of is the festival, the International Festival of National Costume, which takes place every year in the picturesque village of Zherevna. It dates back from 2008. And the main focus and the main purpose of the festival is to jump back in time and to get out of the modern world. On the territory of the festivals, they are not allowed to bring any objects from the modern world, no plastic, no phones even. You cannot take pictures or videos or make phone calls on the territory of the festival, which is quite amazing, I think. And of course, there are photographers that take care of that. So after the festival is over, there is a platform from where we can download everything you want for free. But this is something really nice, and more and more foreigners are coming to this festival every year, and they experience actually Bulgarian culture and spirit this way. I think that in Africa, you have also this kind of festivals, which is nice. I know about jazz festivals and film festivals, and I think this is also a way to show the colors of each country and continent. We wanted just to say about the wine.
Yeah, I will tell you a few words about the wine because it is a very important part of the history of Bulgaria, as it's a huge part of our customs and traditions. Wine producing has over 1,000-year-long tradition in Bulgaria. I can say that nowadays Bulgaria is a proud producer of fine quality wines, some of which are made of unique sorts of wine and are impressing wine consumers worldwide. Something interesting to share is that the ancient Thracians has used wine in their religious rituals in order to communicate with their god. Also in Bulgaria, the wine tourism is very well developed. We have many wineries. Most of them are with hotel part. For example, the winery in Mezek, those are places where you can go and experience everything related to the wine, from wine tasting to spa procedures.
Yes, and one of our favorite ones is the complex for wine and spa tourism in Starosel, where you can actually have therapies in the spa. You can have a bath in wine and grape, and to experience everything, to see the production of wine, to taste all sorts and so on. And actually it is in the wild, and there are wild animals walking around the complex, so you can see some deer. Yeah, you can see some deer, but not that special animals, of course. Only deers and a lot of birds and etc. And Bulgaria can offer almost every type of tourism, as we said. We have sea, mountains, ski tourism, balneological, cultural, archaeological, wine, and so on.
And I would like to sum up that our agency, Carta Holiday, is a leader tour operator on the Bulgarian market, which is working on developing the tourism in Africa, and in particular the undiscovered places of Africa. We're very proud of this because I think that for our country and for Europe, this is something, you should be a pioneer to do this. we have countless exotic programs across the 5 continents, such as South Africa, Botswana and Zimbabwe, India, Sri Lanka, Brazil and Argentina.
Japan,
Yes, of course.
South Korea, Peru, and so on.
Cuba, Iceland,
yeah.
we have many, many places.
And thank you very much.
Thank
You can take us, you can take our programs, and we hope to continue to make programs of Africa and bring more and more tourists from Bulgaria there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Unless there are questions, do we have questions? Or a question from my side, if you guys, any of you can answer the question. What of those Africans who want to go for excavation or a wine or any from Africa to Bulgaria? Do you consider doing that?
Yes, that's why we're talking about this. This is just one of our new ideas. Basically, till now we've been working mainly on outbound tourism, and now we're looking for inbound tourism to Bulgaria. And we think that this is something interesting for Africans. That's why we presented this. So if anyone enjoyed it, please feel free to contact us and we'll help you.
Thank you very much. And unless there is a burning question, I don't want a situation whereby we just sit and then when we are done. So if you have a question to them, I'll spare, oh, there is a question. I'll spare 2 minutes.
Yeah, no problem. 1 minute is enough.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for the presentation. It's very good. And thank you for coming to the Gambia. My question to you, I'm a Gambian by nationality living in Finland. We appreciate that you discover Gambia. Gambia is a beautiful country, smiling coast of Africa. Anyway, my question to you is, do you find any difficulties in the Gambia? Do you have support from us or do you have support from the government? If you don't have any support from us, what are the problems that you are facing that we can do to help you to create more tourism in our country?
I will be honest with you. One of the problems that we find is the yellow fever immunization, which is required in order to go there. And the people in Bulgaria are not so happy with this. They're just having concerns about these immunizations. I think it's for Senegal only, but it's a problem for the whole program. This is one difficulty, but I think that there is nothing that you can do about it. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, it's a no. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I will take that one. We don't want to take too much of Godwin time. I'll take that one so you can discuss. But these are some of the country regulations which are there. So they just need enlightenment to understand how to go about them and circumvent. Okay? My next speaker.
Yeah, Godian Ejugu.
Ejugu. You wish to introduce Ma'am, next to you? Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
If you can leave some minutes at the end, we'll have time for Q&A. Otherwise, the people cannot ask questions. So if you have some time.
Good afternoon. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy you are here. Before I go further, I want to engage you. We are in African kind of gathering, and I'm missing something. So I want us to say hello. And this hello, we are going to sing it. We are going to say hello 5 times, and we're going to do it 3 times. It's not difficult. So the first one, you sit quietly like we used to do with our national anthem, we quietly sing it. So the second one, we will stand up, and the third time, we will dance. Yeah? So the first position, quietly say, hey, hello, hey, hello, hey, hello, hello, hello. Can we do that? Yeah, okay, the first one. Just quietly, no movement, quietly sing it. Hey, hello, hey, hello, hey, hello, hello, hello. Thank you, you did well. Can we stand up? Do the same thing? Quietly standing, no movement, and we sing it. Hello, 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 hello. Thank you. And now you can use the whole floor to dance. Yeah? Really, hands up, up, and then again the same song. Hey,
Hello, 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 hello.
Thank you, thank you. Get seated, get seated. Thank you. So, then I have question. I'm happy everybody practiced or participated. The first position, you sat down and quietly sang. The second one, you stood up, and the third time you danced. Which position felt very good or felt better? The dancing, eh? Okay. I want to make it short. The first one, the first position is our European or Dutch
Culture.
consultation room. And the third one is our African way of healing. Is our hospital. This is a cultural difference. And I want you now, you are cooperating and you have been nice the whole day. Shall we just do one exercise again? If you participate, then you understand it. Because it's not only rational, every knowledge comes through senses that remains. So if you practice it, you sense, you feel it. So I want you to, no matter what you have, it doesn't matter. Just stretch out your hand like this. You can carry something in your hand or empty like that. Okay. Can you keep your hand like this 5 hours? No? Why not? It becomes heavy. Thank you. I think we have our answer. You can put your hand down. So, when you carry something, it doesn't matter. Even if you did not carry anything in your hand and you put it like this, the longer it stays, the heavier it becomes. Because this is muscle, is flesh. Our heart is flesh. Our brain, our head. Anything we carry long enough becomes heavy. And this is what especially Africans do. If she's a Dutch, I pinch her, she will shout. If you pinch African, you keep quiet, or even smile. And the more we carry, the more it becomes heavy and the more it causes health problem. And this is our culture. This 2 exercise is an introduction to cultural sensitive. I have Festa Imo standing next to me. I'm happy I'm not standing alone. Festa is, for the past 2 years, I trained a lot of people, and Festa is one of them. I'm very committed. You can talk. You can introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Godian. As he said, my name is Festa Imo. I'm one of the trainees of his program, the Mental Strength Health, for 2 years. And we have been using this platform to help the Nigerians here in the Netherlands. Our community, we have a lot of mental issues. Just what he explained, we keep it to ourselves. We don't express ourselves. So with him and this program, we are able to reach out, especially women who are dying in silence. We help them to speak out. And after today's program, I think many of you are going to gain from it how to speak out your problem to each other, not holding it in your mind to hurt you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So about me, as my name is Godian Ejiogu, and I work for Peace Servant. Peace Servant is my business I started after experience that there is joy and that there is peace. I decided to be the servant of peace. My background is theology. I studied in Utrecht University and Tilburg, and I've been in pastoral work for 30 years. But for the past 10 years, I decided to work for black people, for Africans, after coming against their situation, especially in Amsterdam and Rotterdam. So now I'm a spiritual caregiver, so I'm no more working in the parish. Spiritual caregiver, some of you may not know what it is. We have in the line of mental care, we have the psychologist, no, the psychiatrist is number 3, and the psychologist is number 2, and the spiritual caregiver is number 1 in the same line of mental health. I specialize in cultural sensitive care. And what I specialize on, if you have issue of racism, discrimination, ethnicism, tribalism, upbringing of children, family issues, any question about life. Even if you have a dream that occurs 3 times, you can consult me. That's how broad the work is. But it's not why I'm standing here. I'm also a lecturer in some universities where I lecture on the subjects that I develop, which are not in the universities. I'm advisory also to the government on issues of policy, and I lobby too in the Tweede Kamer. As last writer, I'm a writer and also a pastor of non-denominational ministry. What I want to talk with you today is the issue of culture. Culture is very, very deep. We have mentioned culture several times, but culture is deeper than love, is stronger than love. The only difference is that love lasts forever, culture changes. But culture is very, very strong and powerful something. Unless you understand it, you won't know how to deal with it. So today I want us to look into the issue of time, just as an example of how culture works. I was born and brought up in Africa, in Nigeria. We have, in our town, we say, in our African thinking, in Africa, time is very flexible. What you cannot do today, you can do it tomorrow. But it's not the same here in the West. Here, you have to have an agenda to master and control time. Because time is money. Time is material. And if you do not take these two differences very serious and understand it, it brings serious problem, especially in the issue of doing business. I think some of us were some Nigerians, sorry for other people, I use Nigerian example. We had a regime we called Idiabon, Tunde Idiabon. Tunde Idiabon. You remember how many people remember it? Thank you. Tunde Idiabon was a military regime, and when he came, he wanted to discipline all Nigerians. And then the military will go to the schools, to all government buildings, and stand there with their stick. If you are 1 minute late, let's say the office starts 8 o'clock. My brother appeared for us to come tomorrow in time. So the office starts 8 o'clock, the schools. If you come a minute after 8, you get some lashes. Whether you're a teacher or a student, it doesn't matter. So what happened is students start rushing to school early in the morning. And one day my grandmother asked, what is all this rush? Because a lot of people were not taking breakfast anymore. They don't want to be late. So my grandmother, who is a farmer, asked, what is all this rush? And she was told the reason. She said, why are they running to something that does not go away from them? Why are you rushing to work that doesn't walk away from you? That is our own concept of time. I come to the Netherlands. In 2003, I registered for a leadership course. And we were about 430 people in that course. It's an American course. And we have to learn about integrity, about honesty, truth, and authenticity, and all those kind of things. And if you come a minute late, it was 20 days course, from 9 in the morning till 11 in the evening. If you come a minute late, you have to come in front, like this, facing the other 429 and tell them why you are late. A minute. And that 1 minute, the leader of the course will say, you didn't come 1 minute late. Count the people. You come 429 minutes late. Because everybody there, you have wasted 1 minute of their time. And calculate it. So let's put it to money. If everybody is paid €100, you have wasted how much? 725 euro, because 429 is 7 hours, 15 minutes. And if you come 1 hour late, how much will it be? You wasted. I calculated it. It's 429 hours, which is 42,900. of other people you wasted. So you can understand when you come late to a meeting and a Dutch person look angrily at you and you don't understand, you think this person hate me, or any Western person, you think this person hate me, or you won't understand, then understand that you have wasted something that is highly valued. And if you are not keeping time, giving you promotion and leadership in that company or anywhere will be difficult because you waste materials, you waste time. So this is cultural sensitive. When doing business or when dealing with other culture, I'm just talking both ways now, these are the things one have to consider. Doing business with Africa, my sister who presented food, Ebere, said something about relationship. In Africa, we do business in relationship. That's why we go to family and people we know. In the West, is alliance. That word alliance is very, very important. Partnership is something that is so complicated. Husband and wife can be partners. Partnership is just, but when you talk of alliance, you are talking of serious issue in business. Alliance when those people who are interested in that particular thing come together to get it. And through alliance, they colonize Africa, they divide Africa. All the things going on till today is that word alliance. And it's difficult for Africa to come to that level of thinking, alliance. And we keep on relationship. If an African call you for business, they will ask you, how are you today? How is your family? How is everybody doing? All those formalities have to go first before talking about business. Otherwise, it's not possible for them. But here, what do they have to do with your family's own business? Straight to the point, do you have this product? How many? Can you be providing for so longer of years? If you cannot provide sure for some months or years, it's difficult for them to maintain because they want to assure their customers that the business will continue. But we Africans, we think of what we have there at that moment. If we don't have, it's okay, we think. But not for the Dutch partner. It's not okay for him. So we can say a lot on these issues, but I want to touch the last topic. I say two things. One is our African supermarkets and our restaurants, those who provide our food. When we talk of culture, culture is what made our body. Culture is what made whom we are. Culture is our foundation. And culture, the food we eat and the things that we inherit in our culture is in our body. And if you move, like, okay, in Nigeria, I was eating gare. I think most of us know all those cassava gare things. And then I come down here, and I replace gare with gristmill because they look alike. I will be eating gristmill and think I'm eating gare, but gristmill is grain, gare is root. The gristmill will start changing my body, but I will not know. And before I know it, it has changed a lot of things, even my organs. They start functioning different. Where I'm touching now is to show the importance of those supermarkets and those food from Africa. and the people running restaurants, their role in our health, in our well-being. I have to mention a painful research that came out that was done in 2016, 17 in Amsterdam, actually in the whole world, by World Health Organization. It shows that Amsterdam Southeast, we call it Bijlmer, have the lowest lifespan of black people in the world. In Africa, village, people have a life expectancy of 72 years. In Amsterdam Southeast, it's 51 years. And a lot are dying under that age. Why? It has to do with all these things. The food we eat, and not only our lifestyle, but the culture we also forget. And that is painful to mention and to know. The data is very big, the data of this research. But so the role of our supermarkets is very important and vital in our health outside Africa. I see that my time is up. I think our dream actually is to train 500 Africans to do the work I'm doing. So I'm very glad that she will be doing it by next year, giving training and giving counseling and guidance. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Just remain. Okay, I think there are questions. Just have it still. Maybe there are a few questions. Do we have any few questions for him? Kindly, do we have questions? Wow.
No questions.
No questions? Oh, there is a question here. I knew there will be a question.
This is a question that just popped up in my mind when you talked about spiritual. You called it what? Spiritual? You're a spiritual healer or something like that?
Yeah. Spiritual caregiver.
Spiritual caregiver.
Yeah.
You can imagine as an African what I go like, what?
Yeah.
So can you elaborate that? Because that's interesting. Really, most of the problems, whether you're African or whoever, it starts with the spiritual state, because we're spiritual beings first. So elaborate on that, what you mean by that, because there's so many levels of spirituality, and how do you embrace all that being in Netherlands? Thank you so much.
Thank you too for your question. In Netherlands, we call it geestelijke verzorger. Have you heard of it? Yes. Okay. Geestelijke verzorger. That is, like I said, in the Dutch system, you call them GGZ. So in GGZ, that's why I use those professions to explain this one. GGZ, you have the psychiatrics, you have the psychologist, and then you have the geestelijke verzorger. So we are number one, and why? We are very close to the people, and actually it's mainly it's divided in religions: Islam, Jewish, Christianity, Hindu, and all the. So these are people who are qualified in their study according to the government rating. Then they get the license to be in this phase one. So our work is to make sure that there is not much people waiting for psychologists, and that we are in time so that people's problems did not pile up to be so bad. And we are not allowed to keep records, to write notes. By the psychologists, they have to keep diagnosis and keep record, and by psychiatrists too. But anything we do with the person requesting for help is between us. We are not allowed to keep records, so that they are safe, and Even the court cannot call us to come and witness this or give this record or that. It's forbidden.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, we are almost there. We have one more last speaker. We are almost there. We have one more last speaker, and Mohammed Dar is going to prepare us for something interesting. You know, we have been talking about Africa, Africa, Africa. He's going to talk about business in Africa, psychological and cultural preparedness. That is something which is very interesting. But before he speaks, I just want to make two announcements that we will take a break immediately when he's done, after question and answers. And now I'm made to announce proudly that there is African light dinner. Please underline. There is African light dinner. Okay? Yeah, there is African light dinner. The moment Mohammed is done, we will break for African light dinner, because I was asked whether that was African lunch or it was lunch. That was Dutch lunch. So now we will have African light dinner. Thank you, Mohammed.
You're welcome. Can you please do the presentation?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just start. And I'm waiting for the presentation to pop up. Normally, it's a conversation between us. It's not about the PowerPoint. It's just I would like to share something with you on the PowerPoint, but because we need to make it a little bit visual. So the question is, how do you prepare people psychologically and culturally and relationship-wise to do business successfully in Africa? Because a lot of people can do business in Africa, because it's not about doing business in Africa. Raise your hand, please, if you agree with me. It's about successfully doing business in Africa. Everybody can start a business, but there is no guarantee that that business will succeed. So we need to make sure that, that we agree on this point. So the whole presentation is about, do you want to learn ways, what needs to be done in order for business, in order for you to be successful when you do business in Africa? Please raise your hand. Show of hands. I think at this time of the day, the energy weighs a little bit down, and we need to get that energy a little bit up. Please, seriously, do you want to do business successfully and prepare people to do business successfully in Africa? Raise your hand, please. Thank you. Thank you. That's very much better. Much better. Much better. Well, you might not be the person who is relocating to do business in Africa, but still, you still need to organize it for somebody else. And what happens most of the times, or in some cases, what some companies do is that they forget some very important elements. It might be that you finance the accommodation, the visa, everything, and then at the end of the day, somebody comes to your office, that person that you're waiting for to live next week to one of the African countries says, well, I'm sorry, I'm not going. Why? Because their partner, their spouse, their child, somebody in the extended family says, well, this is not a good idea, we're not going. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, this had a consequence. And the consequence is the whole relocation package, the whole program, the whole business is collapsing, and you need to start anew. Or maybe it could be that somebody is coming to you very much excited, very much elated, and very much enthusiastic about moving and doing business in Africa. And says, well, I can do it, that's no problem, I'm the guy to do that. You arrange everything, you show them the way, you bring them to Africa, they are there, and suddenly they are very much shocked because the language, the culture, the people, the communication is different. So they decide, this is not a good place to spend time in, so I'm going back. And of course, this also has a consequence on the business, on the company, on people, on the receiving, on the receiving organization, on the receiving team, on the sending team, on the person going, and on you, who has organized that. And because of all the mistakes that people make, and because of the mistakes that happen, that they have learned and they understand the pain that you might be in when you send somebody to a different country and expecting them to perform. So, if this is where you are, how would it be to be here? Thank you. How would it be how would it would like to be here? Here, you have a full relocation package. Everything is structured, everything is done in a very positive way, and you know everything that needs to be done at every stage. You have loads and loads of people, of professionals, of global leaders who are ready to spread the word. They have traveled the world, they understand the culture, they understand the communication, they understand. They are not after certainty, because when you go to a foreign country, do you look for certainty or for uncertainty? Uncertainty. All of you look for uncertainty, because if you looked for certainty, you would not be here, like me. We all look for uncertainty, and what that means is we are ready to take the action that needs to be taken when it needs to be taken to do what needs to be done in order to be successful. And over here, you have people who really understand how international projects look like. Maybe you have somebody coming from the Netherlands, or maybe somebody coming from Finland and very much excited about working in Africa. And if you don't prepare these people about food, about communication, about even to temperature, because they might be very much excited, but they do not know, if they don't know that they can work at 40 degrees heat, then this would be a problem. Therefore, it's necessary to prepare these people. So, is this a good place to be, ladies and gentlemen? Raise your hand. Excellent, brilliant. So, if this is where you want to be, how do you get there? But before knowing how do you get there, first of all, let me ask you this question. Why is it so important to be at this area and not at that area? Well, it's very important because within international projects, and nowadays even within national and local projects, but mainly within international projects, you need everybody, you need a team of people who head in the same direction. Because if you have people not heading in the same direction, maybe you expect people to deliver this, and they deliver this. So you see that there is a gap between this and this, between what you expect and what somebody else delivers. So what does this gap mean? What does it represent? What is the impact that this gap has on you as a person who is organizing the relocation, who has the company, who wants to invest and grow? What is its impact on the person who wants to have impact? Because nowadays, if you don't have impact, then you are not sustainable. Then you can forget the future. So what is this impact? These impacts mean the difference between a successful and a failed international project. So what we need is, we need to really have a structured, relocation program for people and for the organization, so that everybody is heading in the same direction and we know what we need to expect. Because like nowadays, if it's about when you deliver goods to a certain country, or you bring them to the shipping company, they tell you it will be there at this day or that day. And then you can expect as much you can expect today with shipping companies that it will be there at that day. But with people trafficking, because sending people to other countries is a form of people trafficking, it's a form of sending people to another country. As much as you can expect that the boxes will arrive in Lagos next week, but sending a couple with their children and organizing that for them, you cannot expect, you cannot be sure about whether everything, the transition will be good and they will be there on time. So, and why is it important now? Why is it important not to delay the process? Why is it important to take action today rather than tomorrow? Because we all know there has been a pandemic and there has been a lot of inflation, but nowadays companies are widespreading. And the only thing we heard this morning in this room is an enough reason in order for us to have a relocation process that really focuses on the right people at the right time, who can go and do the right things. Because we heard a lot of stories, we heard a lot of questions. I do not want to repeat myself because it will rob our time, but there is a kind of synergy, because we've said, well, are people going to go back or not? We're not going back. Somebody says, well, we're going back. Not everyone, but certain people will go back. So I would like to tell you something about myself, and I would like to. I wouldn't like to take you with my story chronologically from where I was born to where I am today. I think I would share something with you that makes sense. A story of somebody and of a project that I participated in, which will explain which makes sense within this framework. So it was 2008, and I was working for a giant food and beverage company in Amsterdam, which has a division in Africa. And there was this guy who was responsible for business in Africa, and his name was Johan, how you call it. And Johan was very much stressed professionally, because the company was losing a lot of money, and he lost a lot of contracts, and a lot of clients start to go to the competition. He was stressed because he took stress with him home. Raise your hand if you take stress with you home, or if you ever taken stress with you home, work stress. I used to take a lot of stress with me home, until I have learned that this was not a good idea. Then I stopped doing it. So, and Johan was in a position that his job was endangered, his relationships and his reputation was endangered, because he was responsible for something he could not achieve. So what we did, everybody was thinking, well, it's his responsibility, because he has a team of people who could not meet the expectations of the company. So what we did is, we implemented what we called the Positive People Relocation Program. And this is what I will tell you, because in this program, the personal side and the family side and the cultural side play a big role. So we started implementing, and maybe they have to change some people within the teams in order to have people who have that cultural awareness, who understand time, who understand other elements within the culture that play an important role, both here and there, because there was so much intercultural communication. So we implemented that, and they did everything, and then they went on. And then, as a result of that, Johan was very happy. The first thing is that he has a team that he could rely on. The second thing is he started to gain back the customers, and he started selling a lot of projects to customers because there was a lot of good communication with customers. And he invited customers here to talk with them, to see where their problems were. Because here we say, well, you buy this from me, I deliver it to you, that's it. And for the customer there, now it's more than that. And he started to get very much successful. One of the things is he learned not to take stress home, so to leave stress at work in the office, because you solve what you can solve, and you leave your family with peace. Because the problems at work have nothing to do with the problems at home, and they have nothing to do with the problems at the personal side, like how do you call the spirituality? At the spiritual side. Because if we are strong spiritually, we will be strong in different areas. I learned from Anthony Robbins that business is a spiritual act. It's something, it's an impact you make. It's something you help somebody achieve something. It's not about, I sell you this, you give me that amount of money and that's it. No, it's a spiritual act because you help them, you make an impact with help and they help you in return. So as I work with this project and with different other projects, I started to implement this program. And the program is called the Positive People Relocation Program. The Positive People Relocation Program, you see there are people, because you would say, well, relocation, you actually relocate people. You do not relocate something else. But the focus is on people. That's why I put it there, so that the idea becomes clearer that this is what is meant by relocation. Where we put the person, their relationship, their partner, their family, we put them first, because if I would be in Lagos, for instance, and my teenager son is not feeling good, then I would not say, well, my work is priority number one. My priority number one is in private life. Then I try to contribute to him. Because that same company, if I leave that company, they would replace me in how much time? Seconds. Thank you. Yeah. So we need to think about ourselves. And this program consists of 6 elements, and every element tackles one of the most important areas. You see, 1.6. This one is about construct, because in every project that you do, the first thing you need to do, you need to construct something. You need to build the base. You need to build the base. You do not just say, well, John is good in he's an IT engineer, I send him over, and that's it. Project is done. No, we need to do construction work. And what we mean by construction work is, and I will come to this one, we will explain what is in this one. So we call it the free stress selection process, which means how do we find the right person? How do we find the right person to go there? If a team needs to go to the World Cup, they don't go and say, well, let's look, we take a number of people and then we send them to play in the World Cup. What national teams do is that they select and they try to find the right and the best people. They follow a structure. They have a plan. They don't just choose at random. They do not maybe choose one player who is good in something and forget the other areas. The second one is we need to have, when we find these people, then we need to look, are they capable? If they are not capable, then what do they need to be capable? What do they need to show their capabilities? Showing capabilities means making them their signature. You can't just do them automatically. When you have learned them, of course, you need to grow in everything you do. And if you are here, you need to go here. If you are here, you need to go here. You always need to grow. Business does not need experts. Business needs people who want to learn to become better every day. So it's spelled the Superstar Locator. The Superstar Locator consists of how do you manage yourself? How do you manage your relationships? How do you manage your work? And how you sustain that when you are in an international project or when you work in a foreign country. The third one is culture, the code of conduct, communicator. We talk here about cultural differences. Like the speaker just mentioned about time. Time is one of those elements which plays an important role. Because once we know the cultural differences, we need to use the superstar locator to be able to apply them. Because we do not do everything we know, do we? Do we practice everything we know? We practice a fraction of it. Because part of it is intellectual. It's not psychological. It's not part of us. So these two go very much together. The third one is connect. Certainly, if we are in a foreign country, we need to have a lot of connections. Connections inside the house, because we need to look at the spouse, we need to look at children, we need to look at the new relationships that we would like to make, because we are in a new environment, and we will have new relationships business-wise, and we will have new relationships outside of the business as well. Fifth one is the powerful is to commit, because when you are there, where you connect and you've done everything, you need to commit to do something, because you're going there for a business objective. How do you realize that business objective? And last but not least, after the project has finished, we do not take those people and throw them in the trash and they say, well, thank you, it's done. We need to prepare their coming back. Because how many of you have left your country more than 5 years? More than 5? More than 10? Are you still the same person you were back then? No. Which problems do you face when you go back? You become a foreigner. That's what happened to these people when they go and work in a country for a long period of time. When they come back, they're foreigners in their own country. And the mistake companies make is they say, well, they come back home. It's no longer home. It's no longer home. Because everything changed. Everything changed. So we need to help these people to reintegrate in their own culture. And we need to pay attention to retain them, because they have gained a lot of business acumen. They have learned a lot of things, and we want to keep them so that they can help us grow. Because this is why I said you have loads of global professionals, because you make them. It does not just come like this, like a dream. You make them through the process. And now let us go into one of these. How much time do I still have? 3 minutes. I need to be quick. Can I extend it a little bit? So very quick, this free stress selection solution. The first one is it's called probe. Probe, which means you need to analyze. You need to know your people. You need to communicate a lot with them, and you need to understand from them whether they are a candidate, whether they want to be considered to go to a foreign country to participate in an international project. And if they say yes, you need to assess them and know if they are a fit or not. Because a lot of people would say, well, I would like to go, I would like to go, I would like to go. Like the guy here, he would go very much excited, heard a lot of things about Nigerian culture or Moroccan culture, and they are very much excited. When they arrive there, they get shocked. You need to test them, to assess them, and then know where they are. Second is, you need a pool of candidates, because you need to have some choice. You need to choose between people. Maybe somebody says, well, I would like to go, but only to Africa. Somebody says, I'd like to go, but maybe to Asia. Somebody says, I'd like to go, but only to France. It depends, and you might have business in different areas. And this program works for different nationalities. You need to have a pool of candidates. The third one is, one of the most important things, is to include the partner in the selection process from the beginning. Because sometimes the one who works at the company would say, well, it's a good opportunity, it's okay, it will go. But did not realize that the partner has to lose a job too. because a lot of people are in dual careers, because if somebody leaves the job 4 years, when they come back, they want to find work, people would say, what have you done in the last 4 years? Well, I went with my husband or with my wife to this and this country, but you have not worked. Even if you find employment, even if he or she find employment, it will not be at the same level. So this needs to be taken into consideration from the beginning. Fourth one is proficiency. You need to know whether whether the people have technical knowledge or not, because if they don't have technical knowledge, then they are disqualified. They will not be able to contribute to the success of the project. The fifth one is personality. All of these things might be good, but if the person does not have the personality traits that they need to use in order to succeed in a foreign country, because working home is different than working in the neighborhood, working in a different country. There are a lot of challenges coming with that. It is filled with a lot of uncertainty. And if a person does not value uncertainty, then they do not qualify. Or maybe you need to see if you can teach them so that they can learn that skill. And last but not least, you need to have a panel. You need to have a group of people working on that project. It's not only the sending organization, it's not only the receiving organization, but you need people from the sending organization, you need people from the receiving organization, and you need 2 mentors. You need one mentor to help the person to adjust to that country when they arrive, and you need one person to keep an eye on the changes back home. Because what happens is some people would go and say, well, I like exotic culture. I love it in Nigeria. I live here, I have a house, I have a villa, I have a swimming pool, I have everything. It will stay like this forever. And then suddenly Shell says, well, we're cutting jobs, you need to come back. And live in an apartment of 50 square meters in The Hague. So you need to prepare people for everything that can take place.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, thank you. This is part of the project. This is one of the elements, but it consists of 6 other elements. I would be very happy to answer questions or maybe discuss with you if you have any questions or whatsoever. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions before he sits? Is there any question or we are tired? Are we tired? Yeah? Oh, okay. For me or for everyone?
No, for them.
Okay.
If you don't have a question for me. What did you think of this program? Can you give me some feedback, please?
Okay. I think let me pick that mic. Okay. Yeah. To Ken.
Hello?
Yes. Hello.
As a feedback, I think from the way you went through it chronologically, it was really, really in-depth, so thank you.
You're welcome.
And I think it's something for anyone who actually wants to do business in Africa to take into consideration. Yeah. But I think on the back of that, I want to quickly ask a quick question.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that you talked about living the stress at home.
Yeah.
It's easier to say it. Sorry, living the stress at work.
Yeah.
It's easier to say it than to actually implement it. How were you able to do that?
You've said something really good, which I did not say, but I really agree with that. You can live stress at home, and you can live stress at work. You don't need to carry stress. You're not made to carry stress. If you carry stress, that's a different process. That's a different process. And I will explain it in three different steps. You are responsible for yourself. You can control yourself. You can control your thoughts, your actions, your feelings. What else? And what you focus on. You can control what you focus on, what you think, what you believe, what you do, and what you don't do. This is what you have control on. This is what you have control on. The second element, which is another circle, if you can imagine this is one circle, there is a second circle beyond that, which is about the influence. You can influence your relationships. You can I'm talking about influencing positively. You can influence people, you can influence some events, and beyond that, just let go. Let go. If you cannot control it, if you cannot control yourself, if you cannot influence it, let it be. Like if there is an earthquake, or maybe if there is somebody doing something outside of yourself, then you do not need to take it personally. So my quick point is, look at what you can control. Control your thoughts, control your focus, and so on, because if you're taking stress home, it means that you believe something, that you have an idea which is not correct. Because normally, well, you do what you can do, you do it your best, and you are happy with your result. And if the company is not happy with you because you're not achieving certain goals, then you say, well, what can we influence without having self-pity, without putting yourself down? Maybe we can talk about that. But
yeah, I think it's a discussion which can never end. Okay, I think we come to end of today's session, but before we leave, you know, one of the interesting things is that the Voice Achievers has been made success by the people themselves. The people who are inside this house, you have seen the presentation. I believe you have learned a lot. Personally, I've learned a lot of things, and I believe it was a successful day. You learned a lot. Yes, it's unfortunately only ladies. It's fine. Come on, let them come on. So, as you can see behind me, we have a logos running. We have a few of the people inside the room. They just want to give you a bit of what they are doing, how you can interact with them, and what you can learn from them. We have the books, we have the hospital, we have the clothes, we have everything.
Thank you,
want to
Abeka.
take over that?
Yes, please, a round of applause for all the female business owners, because we spoke about the inclusion of women, and now we can put our money where our mouth is. And they're going to quickly introduce themselves. They have a 1-minute pitch, and they brought beautiful products and even books as well. So we'll give them the opportunity to present their business. And then afterwards, I hope everybody's going to invest, buy in these ladies. Okay? Yes, looking forward. Okay, please.
My name is Dorothy Atema. I live in Friesland, in Drachten. I've written a book called Invisible No More, and especially because of what somebody talked about here, that there are people who their lifespan is 51 in this country. I was going to be one of those. I had 5 years of depression, having the highest career you can count here in Netherlands, traveling everywhere. I was a coordinator for 5 continents here in Africa. In Netherlands, in an office here in the Netherlands, and in deep depression because of exactly being a Buitenlander and coming not prepared. So this book I've written to help people, so that if you are in denial, I was in denial that I had problems, that it helps you to come out of denial, to realize you need help. And it also gives tips for you to choose, how do you need help? Do you need coaching? Do you go to a therapist? Do you need to go to a spiritualist? Please buy. If not for you, buy for somebody. And if you buy, I'd like to get some feedback, because this book has been endorsed by OSCPS, the General Secretary of OSCPS, which is from Brussels, called African, Caribbean, and Pacific States as a good book for foreigners to build them up. So you're not only going to read, but you're going to also give me feedback. And this one, I would like to give it to somebody special in this conference.
So hold it like this.
Yes. And her name is from Dubai, the lady from Dubai. This is specifically for the lady from Dubai.
So you go and meet her, and then you can take a picture with her. Anybody ready to take the picture?
Hello, everybody. We are very rich because this lady give us 1 minute. But 1 minute from everybody. So thank you. Okay, I am Corina from Romania. I'm here because my good friend from Bulgaria invited me, and I present you something very, very special. It's a magic paper, but it's not a paper. It's this improve your health. It's vitamin, mineral, and what our body needs, and we don't need to eat pills. I put it on my neck, and I have omega-3, omega-6, resveratrol, anti-aging, blood pressure, a lot of this kind, eight different patches. But after this meeting, maybe a private presentation Albena will do to explain what they do. Everybody can taste it because they come with energy. Someone tastes energy. It's someone in this room who tastes the balance energy and feel it. It's true. It's working. It's really working. They are made in South Korea. It's only plants, nothing chemical, but the good news, I think, it's a micro franchise and it's free for Africa. No cost. Okay? We'll talk about.
Thank you. Do you want to give away a gift to somebody? Who? Please. Everybody?
We have a lottery. We have a lottery. Please put the business card and we extract some more prizes. Okay.
Yes, woo!
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Lady Nina. My name is Nina Wambisi. I live in the south of Netherlands, that's towards Maastricht. So anyway, I'm just trying to show myself to you guys. This is one of my collection. That's my... So tomorrow you have the gala, so you can visit me there. And I also make, I work on fabrics from head to toe, you know. I get your measurements and then I do it, you know. So anyway, get in touch with me. You can get something for the gala for tomorrow. Yeah, thank you. Okay.
And discount? Do we have any? We are Dutch, so is there any discount?
For today's event, I have special discount for anybody that takes my card and I get your measurements and you place an order today, you get a special discount.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Faith. That is my mama there. I'm from Nigeria. In Nigeria, I studied nursing, but coming to the Netherlands is another case because of language barrier, so I couldn't continue my nursing. So I decided to start a business because I have a hand, so my hand can do many. So Afro Chic Empire there is about beauty from head to toe. So we make hair, we sell turkey wears, we sell hair products. So by the grace of God, I have a shop in Amsterdam Spot. So you can visit us anytime when you find yourself in Amsterdam. So that is where our shop is located, Bemerplein, number 98. That is where we are. So you can feel free to pass by to check our products and also get some of our cards. So you can also call us anytime, any day. God bless you.
Thank you so much. And I want to call Pastor Elvis to the front to explain more about our last segment for today. Please put your hands together for our Pastor Elvis.
Yes, dinner is ready, early dinner. It is hot. I can smell the aroma. So we're going to get our food, and then we're going to come back. Please, let's keep it neat, you know, so that we don't need to work too hard to make this place ready for tomorrow. So there's enough for everyone. And then while the dinner is going on, we will do the presentation of the special edition. It is not for sale. You should clap for me now. I mean, to produce an 100 pages magazine, it's a lot of work. And I want to invite somebody to come. Ken, please come. He's our editor. He's based in the UK. And like I said, he worked tirelessly to make this happen. So we've said it all along. You can. This is why the dinner is going on. We'll be doing that. You know, we will call the names of those who are in the publication that we can recognize here. There are some that I've called that cannot be here. They'll be here tomorrow, so they'll get their copy. If you want to support us, just ask for our account, and you can be part of this. Yeah, just tell them the experience. And then after that, we can start the dinner.
Yeah, I've been writing for a long time now, and I think my friendship with Elvis actually started because of the fact that we share common passion for writing. We've worked together for a very long time, and there's nothing as interesting as when you have to write about a success story. And when you have an accumulation of so many people who are doing so well in so many different fields, and it happens that they are all like me, it made this work such an interesting one. There was a time where I had to call Elvis to say, this work is really, really tedious. It's hard, but I find the energy to do it because each story that I write makes me feel like, oh, there is something in the next one. So I was anxious to see the next one, and the next one, and the next one. At the point it got to 100, and he sent another one to say, oh, another one just came. I said, send it. If there are more, let's do it. Because I think it's reached that time amongst us for us to begin to celebrate ourselves, celebrate our successes, change the narrative. Because the media is controlled so much by so few at the expense of us. They don't talk about how well we do, what those things are that we're doing. But if we start little, celebrate one little achievement by one of us, it will spiral into something big, and it will encourage those that are coming. I don't want to preempt some of the things that I wrote, but I think these are collections that shouldn't stay here in Holland alone. It should go everywhere. It should go to Africa. Let heads of government see them. Let schools see them, so that those little kids that are coming will be inspired by it, and they don't need to go into the Mediterranean trying to go to Italy, because power is in us, and we have it to do it. So thank you all. Yeah.
All of us can please go and have, what's it called, an early dinner or light dinner, and come back with your food because we're starting straight ahead. Thank you.